luscious layers of lace, pretty papers, mostly it's lace, with a few dried tea bag pieces of paper and some tulle and some, I don't know, all kinds of laces. It's about adding layers. I'm using the digitals from Anne at Odulcina. I'll link below to her digitals. And I'm trying to learn how to put layers. So I made this checklist for myself, and it's available for you if you'd like to download it. It's in the description. Fall in love with trying, and success will follow. Eventually. I'm sticking with that. I was listening to a creator, and he talked about falling in love with trying, and I thought, yep, that's for us in junk journaling, right? So this little folder began as a bag. It's, I measured it there, and so it's got a tuck spot. And inside the back of the folder is a grouping of pattern pieces. Now, I saw Anne at Odulcina do that. I've added buttons as a part of the layering of items. There's a pocket from the Fussy Cuts. I'm going to cover it with the paper bag. So I'm going to use the paper bag as a paper bag, and I'm going to use it as a decorative piece of paper. Inside this folder, I'm going to add one page, and it has a pocket also. And so I'm going to cover the back of the digital. So one of these digitals is the dressmaker's digital, and the other one is a tea journal. I'll link both of them below. And they go together so well, the colors. Anne loves pink. She talks about that often. And so a lot of it is pink. I'm using some distress ink, pumice stone, and bundled sage, because the bundled sage alone is quite green, a little too green, I think, just for my eye. Yeah, these bags, I got a grouping of them from Amazon, and I thought, you know what, I need to create a decorative edge. That's another layer. On the front of this folder, you'll see there's a layer of this bag paper, and on top of one of the dressmaker ephemera, it's a tag. You'll see it later on. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. If nobody's told you this week, today, you matter. What you feel, what you think, how you're doing, it matters. So remember, you're special. And how you're doing, it's important. So I hope you're doing well. I've just come back from a little holiday. At the end of this video, you'll see a video I took of a garden tour that my husband and I took a side trip to see. And there's some gorgeous, gorgeous flowers. And I thought, you know what? It works with this folio for sure. Now there's the pocket. I did a little divot with the circle punch, and I'm going to tuck in a tag there that I made quite a long time ago, and it's particularly appropriate for this because it has some buttons on it and some fabric, and as though it were a dressmaker's little folio, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to decide where to put that motto, and I decide on the back inside cover, because I imagine no matter what we do in life, we have to keep trying. If we don't continue to try, we'll never find success. Because I don't know about you, but for me, everything, whether it's being a mother, whether it's being a wife, whether it's junk journaling, whether it's sewing, whether it's taking care of a home, whether it's a job, trying is the secret sauce, the thing that makes a difference. What are you trying these days? Leave a comment, let me know. Have you had success? I imagine that most of us need to continue to try for a period of time, that success doesn't come automatically. So you can get this digital, the little label digital with this statement on it. I'll also link to that below. So the layering list and the little digital to cut out if you want to add it to your crafting, to remind yourself that we have to fall in love with trying. Have you ever sewed? I've sewn. I have a 40-year-old sewing machine. The reason I know how old it is because I got it when our daughter was a baby. She's going to be celebrating her 40th birthday. It's hard to believe I'm the mother of a 40-year-old, but hey, happens to all of us eventually, I imagine. Yeah, our children continue to grow and develop and become adults, and then older adults, and then yeah. This is Anne. This is what Anne does. She crinkles her images up and then she kind of distresses the edges. So I'm trying one of her techniques. And she also takes cheesecloth and bunches it up. Now she uses hot glue. I don't even know where my hot glue gun is. I usually just use Fabri-Tac or glue stick, or this here is art glitter glue in a different bottle. But I'm trying her technique of layering. It's coming along. I'm going to continue to try till I feel more at ease. So that's cheesecloth that's underneath that fussy cut. And we're going to add something else. I keep checking back at my own list. I can't remember. I guess I'm used to doing things very simply. So I'm thinking, what can I put up there? String? Yes, I have string that I pulled out of the cheesecloth, and I just kept the great big bundle of string. Here it is. I'm looking for it. There it is. Now that's a bit much. So I pull off part of it, and I'm going to put it down. What does it have on top? I don't know. I have a digital that I cut, fussy cut. A tea cup. Nope, that doesn't feel right. Then I also made something, a paper ruffle. You're going to see that in a minute, but I thought about how Anne always adds some little bows, and I've taken the edge of this cheesecloth and tore it off, and so I'm going to make a bow out of that little bit of string, that little bow of cheesecloth edging, and add it. But it kind of looks messy, and it kind of looks a little lonely. Yeah, what else could we add? Now I was thinking I could add some jewelry, but I have yet to pull out the jewelry. My mum is a person who loved jewelry. Unfortunately, she's in long-term care now with severe dementia, and she still has quite a bit with her, but the rest of it came home with me. So I intend to add some jewelry to these different pieces that I'm making and working on layers. But I haven't pulled the jewelry out of the box yet, so I'm going to go with this paper ruffle along with the string and the little bow and glue it down. This layering business is very intricate. So many different options. I go through stages where I become excited about, oh, I could add this, and I could add this, and I could add this. And then I literally get tired of thinking, and I want to default back to a more simple style. So this is stretching me a little bit, this kind of decorating. And I keep referring to Anne at Odulcina. She lives in Quebec, which is in Canada. It's a province in Canada, and they speak French there primarily. So Anne has a delightful little bit of French lilt in her English videos, and I know she has some French videos also. This is particularly close to my heart because my sister-in-law and brother-in-law, Rob's sister, they live in Quebec. So yeah, I feel almost it's a lovely feeling. So I watch Anne and I listen to her lilt, her French lilt in her voice, and the way she refers to different things like chiffon silk and such. I recommend that you take a look at her videos if you haven't seen them before. And she uses a lot of lace. So this is just a scrap of lace. I don't even remember where it's from. And I'm going to do a flip on top of this page in the folio. A little bit of glue. I add some art glitter glue also. And put the lace down so that it just hangs, and I can lift it up to see the image underneath of the teacup. Because to me, I imagine a seamstress, she would take a break, have a cup of tea, enjoy some tea. And in a little bit, you're going to see what I choose to put on top of there as yet another layer. And that particularly is appropriate tea for what I put on top. I'm checking my list. What can I add? Stamped images? Ooh, I would love to do a wax seal. Or jewelry. Yeah, charms, beads. But that means I have to get up and go find them, and I wasn't ready to do that. So instead, I pulled out my stickers and stamps. Now these stamps are from my mother-in-law. She had kept them. And there's some from the Philippines, and there's some from Bermuda. And the one from Bermuda that I choose, you'll understand as soon as I pull it out why it suits the tea aspect. I was thinking about the flower, but nope, this next one that I pull out. There it is. Yes. Queen Elizabeth. I think that one goes. I can imagine that Queen Elizabeth had a seamstress or a team of them making her clothing, and they'd be inspired by her graciousness and her beauty, and sit down and have a cup of tea and think about making clothing for Queen Elizabeth. Maybe she was a princess there in that one, I don't know. So that will go on as yet another layer on top of the page in the folio. A lace page topper and a ruffle from paper and chiffon ribbon and buttons. What else? What else can we add? I'm thinking about how I will attach the page. I'm thinking about doing a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, but again, I'd have to go up and go get my wax linen and all. So I'm decorating the little tag first, at least starting to decorate it. It probably needs more layers, but for now this is the one layer that I'll have on it. Part of that bag, the paper bag. I'm just using that Cricut thing to take out any wrinkles. And I like those medallions, but for some reason it just doesn't fit to my eye. And I choose not to use it. You see, I've got a couple there. And I tear the top off because I like the brown of the tag showing. It's a nice contrast to the paper bag with the damask. Now there's one of the tags that I made many years ago with, it was to practice slow stitching. And here's the second with some buttons in it, and I decided that that's what should go in the pocket. Yeah, so we have lace, lots of lace, lace on the edges of the paper bag. You've got a tag with a ruffle. That's a sari silk ruffle. And just hand sewn. Got a paper bag ruffle and a little bow. How can we put that in? And what to put on the back? The back doesn't have very many layers. I realize I need to put more layers on the back. What can I use? What's at hand? I've already got the chiffon silk down, but there isn't enough lace. I like that clock sticker. The color works, and I think the style works. And I don't like the white edges, so I choose to cut those off. But we need more lace on the back. Where's the lace? It's coming. I'm thinking about, it just looks too plain. So let's try part of a digital. Again, that's the digital from Anne at Odulcina, one of the pages that I've printed off. And I like the torn edges because then I can use some of the distress ink. In this one, I think I'd use just bundled sage. But when I put the sticker up against it, there just aren't enough layers. I've got to keep trying. Fall in love with trying, and success will follow eventually. So, here's more lace. Is one strip of lace enough? Hint, it's not. I choose to put down two strips of lace, because if one is good, two must be better. So there's 2 strips of lace, along with the chiffon silk, with the layer of digital and a sticker. I'd say we're getting there. Many, many layers, luscious layers of lace and paper. Next week, I'm going to pull out all the things that I haven't yet and add some jewelry and some wax seals and a few other surprises. So you'll have to join me next week as you see more and more layers going on to this experience with the digitals from Anne at Odulcina. A little bit of art glitter glue, 1 layer of lace, and another layer of lace. I want to make sure that I have it down well so that everything shows up, the different layers. Another layer of lace. And the back of that folio is poofy because of the pattern paper. I'll link below to that video that I watched Anne do that, if I can find it. I've been binge watching all of her videos because to me she epitomizes layering. Do you have any other people that you watch that you believe are really good at layering items? If you do, please leave a comment. I'm ready to learn more. This is a deep dive into layering. And there we have the sticker and the lace and the digital and the chiffon silk on the back of the folio. Now we need to put that page in the middle and attach it somehow. I'm thinking, should I put staples in it? And I think, no staples, no staples. What will work as a way to put it in? And I decide that we need more chiffon silk, because there's this blush color on the front and it's not echoed anywhere else. And I think in the middle it'll work really well. And it does. Because it's only one page, I mean, it doesn't need to be sewn in. And a little bow with the chiffon silk. Yep, it works really well. There it is, the bow, and one end is longer so it can just full up over the edge to the back. And you have another layer. So there it is. There is the folio with many luscious layers of lace and buttons and chiffon silk and papers. Next week, stay tuned for more things to layer in. And again, you can get a copy of the digital little statement about trying and the digital about to remind you of what you could do for layering. One more look at this textured, layered folio with buttons that I sewed on. That one sewed on. The one at the sides, the three at the sides are not sewn on, they're glued on. Layer of lace, chiffon silk, more paper, and a pocket on the inside. So we still need to make something to go on the inside there. And to decorate that tag, need to do something about that. We have the stamp and the paper ruffle with a bunch of string underneath it, and the chiffon silk attachment bow, and the tag. Ooh, there's nothing back there. Do we need more layers there? The digital. Fall in love with trying and success will follow. And the back. I think the back has enough layers. What do you think? Leave me a comment. I would really like to know what you're thinking. So, then I'm going to show you just a little view of our garden tour. This is in South Carolina. Is that beautiful? They're called foxglove. We'll see you next week. It's Lori at Positive Thanks Living. Take care. Till we meet again. Bye for now.